Hey everyone, just wanted to take some time to go over Week 13 learning resources and your discussion for the week. Please be sure to view my previous video for a better description of the Week 13 paper. So for Week 13 learning resources, we will be focusing on multicultural issues, sociocultural issues. There is a heavy focus on the concept of intersectionality. And we have a couple of readings as well as a video on this concept for the week, and that will be the basis for your discussion. This is a really important concept that is really something that we need to place a lot of focus on within our practice, whether it be with individuals or with families. Oftentimes we look at oppression based on single groups or single concerns, such as we look at race as an issue, or we look at gender as an issue, or we look at sexuality as an issue, but we don't look at as much, and we're starting to, through this kind of education, is looking at how those particular areas of oppression can overlap to create a lot of different layers of oppression. So I hope that you find the readings informative. I think that this is really important to consider, and I'm glad that we can place focus on this for an entire week. And like I said, I hope that the readings can help further your learning on the topic. So you do have these 3 required readings, and then choose 2 from this grouping here. Like I said in previous weeks, choose something that maybe you would like to learn more about, something that maybe is a gap in what your education has been so far. And then we do have a cultural competence family resource. So just pulling up the cultural competence resource here, you'll see that it is a brief PowerPoint kind of defining cultural competence for us, as well as highlighting the ethical principle that social workers challenge social injustice. This is really important to our practice, as I said previously. And as you'll see, you'll kind of be able to look at cultural competence and how it has evolved throughout time, and how it's really important for us to continue to widen the lens in terms of cultural competence. In addition to the resource, please feel free to look at the Multicultural Family Institute for a variety of different really helpful resources there. And then, as I had mentioned previously, we do have a video. The required video this week is this video here, The Urgency of Intersectionality. It's a short video, but I think it's very powerful, and your discussion for the week will be largely focused on this. We do have 2 optional videos as well that, just if you'd like to further your learning, would be helpful for you to view. Moving on to our discussion for the week, right here at the top, it highlights the importance of engaging diversity and understanding how diversity can impact the human experience. It can impact the individual experience, the family experience, and how this is a really important consideration for us as social workers. So you will have read the required articles and watched the video, and then from there you're going to respond to these 2 prompts here. Generally, just want to know what your reactions to the video are. I believe that it was a pretty powerful description that she provided about some of the issues that we're focusing on this week. And then the second part of it will be a little longer. Likely you're going to select one of the theories that we reviewed this semester and discuss how you would incorporate issues related to oppression, privilege, or intersectionality into that theoretical approach. So here it might even be helpful to reference back to the group family therapy theory grid. We did always each week, as you remember, indicate some cultural considerations there and how that theory would approach that. Or, you know, if you have additional ideas yourself of how you might incorporate that and kind of use the theory to address some of those issues of oppression, or at minimum practice cultural competence within your approach. Those would be things that you would indicate here. And then there is a response post required for this discussion. I know in recent weeks we have not had required response posts very often. So with your response post, I just want you to state one thing that your classmate pointed out that you hadn't considered, especially with things like cultural competence and multicultural issues and sociocultural issues. It's really important to engage in some discussion, because your classmates will likely have thoughts and ideas that you had not considered, and it's important for us to always be open to learning. I did just want to mention that your week 13 paper, the integrative case paper in Genogram, is due on Sunday this week. Please view my previous video that I have made separately regarding the instructions and the rubric for this assignment. And then lastly, we do have a self-care activity posted this week. It's pocket mindfulness, 6 mindfulness exercises you can try today. It's just really a description of the different ways that you can practice mindfulness. I'm sure many of you are already familiar with mindfulness. I think it's worth looking at. So mindfulness can be a quick self-care strategy. It's also likely going to be helpful within your practice when you work with clients in terms of teaching them mindfulness, to have a resource like this. So it might be just something that is helpful to save.